Today, New York Governor Kathy Hochul unveiled her budget plan for the upcoming fiscal year.
And our New York Capitol correspondent, Elise Klein, she's live in Albany tonight, and she's here to tell us more about what the governor is proposing and her top priorities.
Nick, Renata, good evening. The governor highlights some of her top priorities in the budget today as mental health, public safety, and affordability. But one of the biggest topics of discussion today was the migrant crisis. The governor announced that she'll be dipping into the rainy day fund or the state's reserves to help combat this issue. Now, this is something that doesn't happen that often, but the governor says this issue continues to progress and therefore meets the criteria for emergency spending.
But until we see a change in federal policy that slows the flow of new arrivals, we're going to be swimming against the tide.
In the governor's $233 billion budget plan for the 2025 fiscal year, she proposes $2.4 billion to combat the migrant crisis. She also proposes utilizing $500 million from the state's reserves. Some Democratic lawmakers support this proposal, saying this could help prevent this issue from causing financial burdens for counties across the state.
You know, reserves, rainy day funds, it's supposed to be for difficult times. I think this is a difficult time. So using reserves for this, I think it actually fits the criteria.
While some Republican lawmakers say they are not enthusiastic about spending more money on the migrant crisis after spending nearly $2 billion on this issue in last year's budget.
You know, I'm not thrilled to have to spend any money on the migrant crisis. I don't think using our rainy day funds is the right idea. I would join her in trying to advocate for the federal government to pick up the tab.
The governor says housing 70,000 migrants will not be sustainable long term and that the solution will have to come from Washington, D.C.
Congress, the House of Representatives in particular, and the White House must remain at the negotiating table until they restore the rule of law on our border, fix our asylum system, and provide relief to states like New York.
The governor says she will travel to Washington, D.C. later this week to continue to advocate for immigration reform and further aid on this issue. And the budget as it stands right now is in the process. It goes to the legislature. Now that the governor has unveiled her proposals, it's time for the legislature to come up with their budget proposals to bring to the negotiating table. Nick, Renata, back to you.